Welcome to Simply Stogies After Dark, our only live show, our once a month live show, our only two cigar show. We try not to waste your time. We don't go 3 hours. What we do is play around with the cameras during the show, which is a great way to say that Tim is producing tonight.
We're gonna share responsibilities, brother.
Well, okay. Well, look, it's going to be a giant shit show tonight. We're talking about My Old Kentucky Herf. We're going to be talking about events. We're going to be talking about a whole plethora of things. And look, if there's something you'd like to talk about, joining us live on Facebook or YouTube, you can leave a comment and we can discuss whatever you would like as well. We also bring our LE Club members on. We've got a couple waiting in the wings, it looks like. Yeah. So we'll bring them on shortly. But first, let's pay some bills. Tim, let's do that. That sounds like a good idea. You know what else sounds like a good idea? Going to smallbatchcigar.com. Smallbatchcigar.com. Aficionados know, enthusiasts know, and now you know smallbatchcigar.com. Use coupon code Stogies. You're going to get 10% off your order. It doesn't matter what it is. Put it in your cart, 10% off. There you go. Coupon code Stogies. You're welcome. It's right there at the bottom of the screen. For those of you who are not visually impaired, for those of you who are visually impaired, it's Stogies. I don't know what else. I don't really know what else to say there. Look, go there. Look, I say this all the time, but they have really introduced me to a lot of great brands that I probably would not have been exposed to otherwise. Matilde, Blackwork Studios, everything out of Ovea Negra. Honestly, Dapper Cigars, Patina Cigars, the list goes on, and it is an ever-growing list, including AG Cigars. Alex Glez, if you're familiar with Alex Formers, they now carry AG Cigars there, smallbatchcigar.com. They carry everything, and look, we just got done. Like tomorrow, we end all of our PCA coverage. It's done. It's over with. Thank Christ. So look forward to that. But all of that was sponsored by Small Batch, and the reason that I was so happy that they sponsored our coverage is because they're going to be carrying a lot of the stuff that came out at the PCA that people were talking about. Go to smallbatchcigar.com. 10% off when you use coupon code Stogies. Get the latest PCA releases. Get the latest AG cigar. Get the latest Lure cigar. Get the latest whatever cigar you're looking for. They've probably got it. Aficionados know, enthusiasts know, and now you know. Smallbatchcigar.com. This episode of Simply Stogies After Dark is also brought to you by Lure Cigars. Smoke great cigars, tell tall tales. Lure Cigars and the brand new Oscuro. Now look, next month he's got the last cast coming back out next month. So we're gonna be getting ready for that. But until then, let me tell you about this absolutely delicious Oscuro, the Big Joe and the Little Joe. The Oscuro features a slightly oily double Maduro dark brown Oscuro wrapper over a thick binder from Esteli and a selection of premium Nicaraguan filler tobaccos, including Ometepe Lajero. The strength of this cigar is full, and it is full throttle in flavor, baby. Your palate will encounter notes of dark roast coffee, freshly tanned leather, dry cocoa, along with a bit of black peppercorn, dark spices on the finish. Look, if you haven't tried the Big Joe or the Little Joe, I told you can go to smallbatchcigar.com. You can get it there. They've also got the Fat Tony, which is a smallbatchcigar.com exclusive. If you like the Corojo, you like the Big Blue, you like the little Tony, guess what? You're gonna love the Fat Tony. It's the best of both worlds. Go try it. Exclusive until the middle of this month. Only at smallbatchcigar.com. And look, I told you we're ramping up. Lou is ramping up to his the re-release of his first LE that he did last year in honor of his dad, the last cast. You're not going to want to miss that. Look for that here in the next month. Lure Cigars, smoke great cigars and tell tall tales. Lure Cigars. And of course, this episode of Simply Stogies After Dark is brought to you by My Old Kentucky Herf. That's what this entire program is all about. Do I really need to explain to you what it is? It's next week. It's May 9th and 10th. If you're not going, I feel bad for you, son or daughter. Well, I feel for you in my heart of hearts. I am sad for you. It's going to be a great time. We're going to talk about it all night tonight. So please look forward to it, May 9th and 10th. Look, it's always the second Saturday of May. Go get your tickets, fatash.com/events. We're giving away a pit pass tonight. So look forward to that. Lots of great things. Let me bring in my friend, my co-host, the foil, the antagonist to my protagonist.
Okay, that's better than the peanut butter to the jelly, I suppose. I didn't like that. James, how are you? Nice to see you.
I see you're wearing the stupid fucking hat tonight.
I am. I did it for you. I did it for you.
I wish you wouldn't have. Really wish you hadn't. I really wish you hadn't.
I'm having a bad hair day, so I had to.
You don't have any fucking hair. You're in the military.
I still have hair, my friend. I still have hair.
It's not a thing. This is hair. This is hair. This is hair.
No,
you don't have. I went out.
Just long hair.
I went out this afternoon. Like, we'll get into cigars here in a second, guys. Just relax. I'm catching up. I'm catching up with him. I went out today. I took the kid out, right, and I had a play date with one of her little friends, and I met her the little boy's parents today for the first time. Very lovely people. Very lovely people. And they both smoke cigars, which is, I was like, holy shit. Like, I think I just found my new best friends. Like, do you guys want to help me run a podcast? Like, do either of you know anything about producing? Yeah. And they were, unfortunately, they're like, yeah, no, I don't.
No, we don't. But are you?
I asked everybody that first time I meet them, can you produce anything? They're like, no, I'm like, fuck. But yeah, they both said, Tim, that I have a beautiful head of hair. Now, I don't know if they were both hitting on me, probably not. But if they were, I'm okay with it. Also, they said I have a beautiful head of hair, so fuck off. This is hair. What you have is sad and depressing.
It is sad and depressing.
It makes me die a little bit on the inside.
A few years from now, I'll attempt to.
Yeah. When you get out of the military, yeah. Full Lebowski. I got you.
Absolutely.
Let's turn our attention to some folks waiting in the wings. We've got from Livermore, Iowa, Smoldering Cigar, our friend Brian Bolin. Brian, welcome. Hey, welcome to
there he is.
Yeah, I am here.
Glory. Yeah, your audio's faster than your video. I like
perfect.
I love it. It's that it adds a little.
We're doing it live, folks.
Yeah, fuck it. We're doing it live. Let's bring in his better half, his wife, co-owner of Smoldering Cigar in Livermore, Iowa. It's Shauna Bolin. Shauna, welcome to the show.
Oh, you're muted.
No, she's muted.
Is she muted?
I don't know.
That is amazing. Thank you, guys.
She's not muted.
No, she's not muted.
She just doesn't have a mic set up.
Oh, she lost her voice.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's actually, you know what? Brian, now's your opportunity.
Yeah.
This is it. You tell her everything you've ever wanted to tell her right now.
Yep, we're going to
hurry before she gets the mic on.
This is how we're going.
There's not a husband alive that doesn't understand that. Like, this is great. That's some good shit right there. Yeah.
She can't say anything back. You guys are the best.
You gotta be careful though. She's gonna figure out her mic.
She's gonna figure this out, and all of a sudden, all three of us are in fucking trouble. I'm just saying. Let's bring in our friend, our supporter, great friend of the show, great friend to myself and to Tim personally, and owner of Lure Cigars. It's Lou Cross. Lou, my friend, welcome to the show.
Hey guys, how are you tonight?
I'm glad your technology works. Thank you for being technologically savvy. I appreciate it. Shauna, did you figure out the mic?
I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
let's pretend that we couldn't. I don't understand. Why didn't you guys keep going with it? What is wrong with you? You tell her the whole night we can't hear her, and she just sits there. God.
Oh no, I would go get on a different computer.
No, well, that's sad.
You are not that lucky.
I guess not.
You look very dapper.
Who, me?
Your hat. Yes. I love your hat.
Yeah. What did John just texted me? He said, "Watching the After Dark. Why are you dressed up like an extra from the TV show Peaky Blinders?" LOL. Yeah. Just kidding. Thanks, John. I love you too, man.
Yeah, right. Dan Thompson asked earlier, as I just pull up the comments, he was like, "Hey, is there anybody else on this damn thing, or is it going to be a monologue?" I don't know. I guess it could be a monologue, Dan. I can monologue about something. I'm guessing Ryan said this about your hat. It adds a certain pizzazz. Ryan, don't encourage him. That's a stupid fucking
pizzazz.
hat.
Yeah.
Yeah. As far as My Old Kentucky Herf, Ryan says he can't wait for next week. I can tell you what I
Heck
can't wait
yeah.
for. I can't wait to cut this cigar. But before we can, I have to remind you all that you can't clip my wings, but you can clip my cigar. Brought to you by Blackbird Cigar Company. Blackbird Cigar Company, home of the brand new box press Toro in the Superb Vitola. Go check it out. Superb. They've also got a brand new Lancero in that same thing. Plus, they've got the Meadowlark, which is not to be confused with the Meadowlark Lemon, who was a Globetrotter, a Harlem Globetrotter. If I remember, is that right?
Yes.
Anybody? Bueller? All right, thank you. Thank you. I knew somebody my age would remember. Go check it out. Blackbird Cigars. Look, and if you wanna save a little dough on Blackbird, go to smallbatchcigar.com. Use coupon code Stogies. You get Blackbird there, right there. See, he put it back up. Let's leave it up for the whole show this time. That'll be great. As I tell the producer what to do live. Blackbird Cigars, can't clip my wings. Go check it out. The brand new Vitolas in the Superb and the Meadowlark, right, which is for Kansas. 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 I am smoking. Thank you for asking, everybody. I am smoking the Maker from here. Let's do this, and then I'll do this.
Oh,
yeah, that works. That works. The Maker. This. So I just
The
opened this
OG.
box. The OG from My Old Kentucky Herf a couple years ago. This was a collaboration between Rick Rodriguez from West Tampa Tobacco and Luciano Morales from Luciano Cigars, now Constella Group. I love this cigar. And when I was at My Old Kentucky Herf last year, I asked our good friend Stephen Ray. I was like, my friend, do you have any more boxes of these? And he just looked at me with sadness in his eyes. And I looked at him with even more sadness because I was like, I bought 2 boxes, but there was a jackass that took one. And so I've smoked through it. And could I have another, please? And I gave him like the big puppy dog eyes and pouted a little bit, the little pouty lips.
Can we see
and he
that?
No, and he got me another box. He was
You
like,
got a
he's
box
like,
of the Maker, Brian?
yeah.
No, I don't.
So yeah, there we go. See, and look, unlike you fucking Philistines, at least Dan knows, how to be nice. His mama taught him right how to be nice. Let's go around the horn here. Tim, my friend, what are you?
I don't know
puffing
if
on?
my little feature's gonna work, but this is if I
You
can
know, you
get
can
it
probably freak
before
yourself.
you. There you go. That is a Castagli Cipher 2x4 or Lorenz, I guess you could call it.
Yeah.
Had a couple left of these in my humidor. Figured I would see if I can get one done before we get through this entire episode.
I'm gonna say no. That's my guess.
I don't think it's going to happen either.
Yeah, no. As I torch the shit out of this Maker, Brian, what are you smoking tonight, buddy?
Well, since we're doing Fat Ash, I'm smoking the Fat Ash cigar sponsored by Luciano.
Oh, the
This
family.
Yep. This one came out last year at the Fat Ash event. And so it's a great cigar.
I smoked through my box of those already.
Yeah.
It was very good. I'd asked Donna what she's smoking, but I don't think Marlboro Reds is a cigar.
No.
It's not, and I'm currently in a non-smoking environment.
Oh, are you in your office? Like at the office?
Yeah, I'm at the law office.
She working.
She working. Wow. What's your all's excuse for not jumping on? Lou? Everybody else, like you're at work and you're jumping on. Never mind, Shauna. The joke was lost. It's over. Jesus fuck.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Fucking day. Shut up.
Lou. There we go. Oh, the last
Oh.
cast. Yes, coming soon to a B&M near you. When does the new last cast release, my friend?
It'll come out June 20th. We'll be shipping out between the 15th and the 20th. This is last year's. I've got a couple left in the humidor, but tonight I thought it would be good to say it's coming soon and smoke a last cast. So
Yeah,
smoke great cigars and tell tall tales.
There you go. Smoke great cigars, tell tall tales, lure cigars. Yeah, that's coming out soon. I'm looking forward to it. I'm also looking forward to My Old Kentucky Herf. Now, I know Dan Thompson's on, president of McAuliffe Cigars, and McAuliffe is going to be there with Amanda McAuliffe. And this is Jeremy was there last year for McAuliffe, he's their sales rep out there. Dr. Gabby Caffey says he loves fishing and cigars. Like everybody, like I
Who
don't.
doesn't?
Well, I can take or leave fishing.
Yeah, but if you're going to be fishing, you might as well be smoking a cigar.
The last time I went fishing, I didn't even put anything on the hook. I didn't give a shit. I was just like, I just wanted to be out.
You are
away.
not supposed to admit that shit out loud.
No.
Those
I
are
just
your
wanted
inside voices.
Is it? I just wanted to be away from the wife and the kid and in nature and smoke a cigar in peace and quiet.
Mhm.
And then I went to a busy lake and I was like, this fucking sucks.
Oh yeah, you don't want to go to a busy lake.
No, I would have just rather found a fucking puddle. Fished in the puddle.
Oh my God.
Oh, perfect. I haven't even looked, Dan. Look at that, Dan coming through in the clutch with the video. I appreciate you, Dan. Yeah. So look, I guess I can make this announcement now. Now's as good a time as any. We will be live streaming the entirety of My Old Kentucky Herf in conjunction with My Town TV. My Town TV is going to be helping us out. So you can watch it on right where you're watching this, except if you're on Instagram. It won't be on Instagram. It'll be on Facebook, it'll be on YouTube, and it'll be on Rumble, I think. For sure, Facebook and YouTube.
Right.
And we're going to be live streaming that, starting with their the Drew Estate like pre-party. Tailgate party. Yeah, tailgate. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Is the tailgate new this year, or do they do that every year? Because I think I'm the only one here that has not been there yet.
Wasn't last year.
No.
Yeah. No, it's new.
Okay.
A lot of things new this year. God, this is so fucking good. Oh my God. This maker is so good. It's one of my, oh God, I'm going to be so sad. Now that box is open, it's a free for all and I can just take one whenever. So sad. James gave us 25 minutes before closing just to get it done today. I don't think that's accurate, but I'll take it. I did get another email from Greg Free from Fortaleza Libre, part of PCA, that's just going to be there. He was like, great email to push people over the finish line. I didn't think I wasn't that bad, Dan. Was I really come across?
Yeah, I've told you when you send out emails,
I sound like a dick.
Yeah. Actually, that's you do.
Okay. I mean, okay, I'll take that. I'm a dick. That's all right. I guess I'm an asshole. I don't know. I don't know. I apologize. I didn't mean to sound like a dick. I mean, yeah, I guess is what it is. But yeah, so we're gonna be live streaming My Old Kentucky Herf, Fat Ash Cigar Lounge. You asked, so we jumped. I appreciate you, Dan. I love you guys over there at McAuliffe. Number one, let me just talk about the purple for a second. If you haven't smoked the purple, go smoke the purple. Like if you haven't smoked any of their color series, you should probably go smoke all of it. But like the purple's the new one that just came out. It's really good. I have not been disappointed with anything McAuliffe has put out in literally probably 6 years, 7 years. Go try McAuliffe. Do not sleep on McAuliffe. It is some very good stuff. Very professional, and there's obviously some sort of emoji after that.
Yeah, I don't know what is that.
It was blocked.
Yeah, dang it.
Yeah. So probably not very professional. Anyway, My Old Kentucky Herf, May 9th and 10th. It's always the second weekend in May. In the last few years, it's landed on Mother's Day. Hopefully that won't be the case next year. I haven't really looked. But it's absolutely a fantastic time. It's so much fun. And Tim hasn't been there. Lou and Brian and Shauna, you guys were there last year, and it was your first year at My Old Kentucky Herf. McAuliffe's coming this year. And it's going to be Amanda's first year, Jeremy's second. So she'll kind of have an idea what's going on. But a lot of the folks from the BCA, it's their first year. Let's start with Lou. Lou, if you were going to give somebody advice that like, hey, this is my first time at My Old Kentucky Herf, like what would you tell them from a manufacturer's perspective? Like what kind of advice would you give?
From a manufacturer's perspective, I would say don't hesitate to go up and introduce yourself and engage with the brand owners and the reps that are there. I think that this is one of the greatest events of the year to where consumers and enthusiasts that enjoy cigars, they enjoy good food, they enjoy good music. Everybody gets together. It is a phenomenal time, and just great people. All of the volunteers that support Fat Ash and Dwight and Stephen coming together and bringing everybody together at this event. It is just a blast, and make it a point to go to all the different activities. Now, I know there's having some new things together, but last year, the kind of the Friday night party that was at the lounge, it was busting at the seams with people, and I got to meet fellow friends that I've only herfed with online and only known each other for, virtually, and to meet them in person and to actually sit there and smoke cigars and tell stories and engage was just wonderful. And I think they're moving that into that new venue, which you'll talk about, to have at the tailgate. But go to all the events. It's just a blast. It's just a great time. And I'm regretting not being able to personally be there this year. But if you're going, uh, plan to smoke some great cigars and, eat some great food, listen to some good music, and, give the brands that you've never heard of a shot. I was a brand new company last year and came up, and people listened to my story, and several people, came back up after smoking the cigar that was in their registration kit. You get your pack of cigars, or if you're going to take the tour around the donut and get your free cigars if you didn't get a pit pass. um, Take time to meet the people who are behind the brands. They want to hear from you, they want to engage with you, and they want to know more about what you like to smoke, and give them feedback as to the cigars. That's the one thing I would say, is to let them know how the cigars are smoking, and just have a good time.
Yeah, no, that's great advice right there.
Right.
That's the whole point of the Friday night, the pre-registration party. Like Lou said, it was busting at the seams last year, and as someone who has gone for the last several years, I can tell you that it's always busting at the seams, especially when it's at Fat Ash Cigar Lounge, which is a great lounge. You guys have heard me talk about it, right? Like how great that lounge is and how much I absolutely love that lounge, and just everything about it, from the people to the place to just everything. Um, but it gets busy, especially at My Old Kentucky Herf time, especially on a Friday night when everyone's coming in to pick up their swag and get registered. Yeah, it gets busy. So this year they're doing things a little bit different. It's going to be at the convention center, May 9th, and that Friday night, that's where the pre-registration party. They're closing Fat Ash at 5. There's going to be select vendors there to sell you cigars. There's going to be dinner. It's going to be an absolutely fantastic time, and then you get to hang out there. I think they're going to have live music. They're going to do things that they've normally done, but it's just going to be at the convention center, and so you're going to have a lot more space to kind of move around and have some time to fellowship with your fellow brothers and sisters of the Leaf and get to know folks from in and around the industry. I really hope that I get to spend some time with some of these folks. I'll be honest. At the trade show, it was nice seeing everybody. I mean, it was. It always is. Unfortunately, we're so busy and they're so busy. There's not a lot of time for catching up. There's not a lot of time for a whole lot of anything other than pleasantries and like, can you do an interview? And they're like, yes, absolutely. Let's do the interview. You do the interview, you thank them, and then you move on. So My Old Kentucky Herf, for me specifically, from a media perspective, I get an opportunity to sit down, at least on Friday. Saturday I won't now. On Friday, and really catch up with some of these men and women from around the industry. I hope I get to catch up with Amanda McAuliffe. We'll go over the entire list here shortly of everyone that's going to be there. But I wanted to Cookie Cigar says, look at these beautiful people as I cover up my face with this comment. Which is ironic, don't you think? Let's ask Shauna. We'll go ladies first. Also because I respect Shauna's opinion more than I respect Byron. Brian.
We can't even say my name.
It's awesome. I did that.
Live television.
Freudian slip, maybe. I don't know. Shauna, what should people know if it's their first time going to My Old Kentucky Herf?
Shit. There's so much to know about it. It's so fantastic. I can't even. Because That's what I got.
That's it at all.
Perfect.
That's
Brian,
the show, guys.
I'm really looking forward to it now.
I'm really.
You should know that you're going to have the best freaking time ever.
That's what I'm hoping for.
I had such a good time last year. And, you know, I'm not an avid cigar smoker. I do smoke.
You don't say.
I'm not. But I am an avid herfer.
I don't know if that's a thing, but
Avid socializer.
Yeah, avid socializer.
It was such a great time, though. You get to meet so many people and learn so much if you really wanted to.
Yeah, you know, it's funny you say that because Ryan Pugh, he said he's learned so much at the Herf every year. You're not the only one to say that. And it really is a time to learn. Like there's a lot of people who are in this, we'll call it a hobby, although I think it's more of a lifestyle. For me, it is. I'm a degenerate though, and I smoke 5 or 6 of these fucking things a day.
Well,
but
there
most
went your
people,
insurance policy.
There went whatever. I look. Trust me, I'm worth just as much dead as I am alive. Like 0, 0. Doesn't matter. You can multiply it by 100, still 0. But you know, people are for the most part in this hobby casual, and if I were to put it in gaming terms, they're filthy casuals, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But if you don't know what you don't know, and the more you're able to hang out with people in and around the industry, the more you pick up. It's almost by osmosis. And you're gonna, again, I'll go through the list here in just a second. But there's so many great people in this industry that are going to be there. Like everybody from the BCA, the Boutique Cigar Association, which is just this is a new thing. Greg Free and Dwight and Steven got together. Greg Free's part of the BCA for the Fortaleza Libre, and he was like, why don't we bring everybody in? And they had a meeting with Dr. Gabby Caffey, and that went well. And there's going to be several brands from the BCA there. So you're going to get the perspective of small companies, boutique companies. You're going to get an opportunity to try what they have. And, you know, Lure's going to be there, another small company, dare I say startup, that's only been in the industry for less than 2 years now and is killing it, absolutely killing it with his blends. You're going to get an opportunity to try those. Plus, McAuliffe, if you haven't tried the purple, I would imagine they're going to have the purple there. I can't, why would you go to you're not going to have the purple. Plus, you're going to get to meet Amanda McAuliffe, a woman in the industry who, we need more of that. I mean, we honestly do. And so, it's going to be a fantastic time. Luciano's going to be there. We'll go over the list here in just a second. I keep saying that, but Brian, I want to get to you.
Okay.
Thanks, buddy. What do you think people should be aware of going into My Old Kentucky Herf?
Well, going into it, I think what people are going to realize that it is a much more relaxed situation to going into. The owners and that at Fat Ash have set up a venue there that has made the whole thing more of a casual lounge setting type. Even though there's thousands of people there and you get all these vendors there and everybody that's there, you're still going to be, it's still casual. And for us, the first time, that was the first thing I noticed is that, you know, you walk in there and they make you feel welcomed. And I didn't know anybody from anybody. And it was great because it was completely different than PCA. I went to PCA the first time that year too. And I got to talk to the primaries there at Fat Ash, and it was just more casual. There was no pressure. They were more relaxed, and so therefore they spent time with you. And so there was a lot more one-on-one. And even when you're in that big donut and you're walking around, they still weren't pushing you at all. And so, you know, even if you're a first-time smoker or been smoking for 20 years, they took the exact same amount of time with people, and nobody complained. I love that. There was no pushing, no shoving. Nobody turned to trick or treat. It was great. And because it was developed that way, and I don't know if he meant to do that on purpose, but the people at Fat Ash, they were able to encompass a small lounge feeling in like a big giant convention center. And so you felt welcome from the minute you got there to the minute you felt like you left with family. And then there was opportunities after that to have conversations with people you probably wouldn't never talk to, and because it was just set up that way. And so for me, that whole Herf deal that they have was probably the best experience. And you know, as being a cigar lounge owner, I definitely try to model our Herfs after that, just because that's what you want. You want people to come in and connect with the people that you bring in the cigar industry, with the patrons, and that's what they've done. And so for me, it was just relaxed.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm not a great big cigar enthusiast, or I don't know it all or whatever that way, but they didn't care. You know what I mean? That was how it made you feel. It didn't matter how much I knew or what I didn't know or who I knew in the industry or not. They just treated you like family.
Yeah, no, 100%, 100%. Before I get into all of these folks that are going to be there, which there's a lot, principals, blenders, owners. I want to ask you about this, Brian, because there are several retailers, yourselves included, that shut down your shop last year, and I know that the Critchfields from Executive Cigar Lounge shut their shop down every year to go to My Old Kentucky Herf, and they tell their patrons, hey, come support My Old Kentucky Herf. Why would you choose to do that as a lounge owner, as someone who owns a business, to shut your business down, and then for a few days, for you guys, it's a few days because it's a 10-day drive or a 10-hour drive. Go to a different lounge and hang out and support a lounge in a different state.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. It's because about cigars. I mean, it's about family. It's about friendship. It's about meeting new people. That is cigars. And as a lounge owner, you got to support something that someone has gone out of their way, taken the chance, and done and produced a atmosphere that you yourself as a lounge owner wants to produce. And why wouldn't you want to share that? And I think, for us, when we close down to go to that, it's because we're saying, hey, look, we know we're not the only lounge. I mean, by all means, I'd love to be the only lounge. That'd be awesome. But we know we're not the only lounge. And this is the place that as lounge owners want to go to. And so when I tell my customers and we broadcast it and advertise it up here, we're like, hey, man, if you have time, this is where you need to go, because it is like literally taking my lounge and putting it in Kentucky. They treat you the same as I treat my customers. They introduce you to principals. They bring people in and all walks of life, and they make that camaraderie that's what cigar smoking, the very definition of it is. And as a retailer, why wouldn't brick and mortar? I mean, why wouldn't you support that? I mean, because I bet you they would come up and see me if they had the opportunity. I mean, I just don't see.
I mean, I don't look. I have a hard time getting up there, Brian.
I know. Hey, I get it. We're a diamond in the rough, but we're
Shauna got it. Shauna got it.
But that's why you want to do it. You want to do it because they're doing what you want to do. They're a brick and mortar that's doing exactly what you're doing. And as a cigar industry, we all got to be together. We have to. I mean, that's why we smoke cigars. We don't smoke cigars so we can sit in the corner by ourselves and we want to. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I'm just giving you a hard time, Brian. I'm sorry.
No,
Look, I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm going to cut you off. Look,
I'm done with you.
Yeah. I'm just kind of done with everything. We're like I said, we're live streaming this on Saturday, May 10th, and we're doing this because My Town TV made the offer. They're like, hey, use our equipment and we'll stream it. You guys just kind of do your thing, put on the panels, do the pre-show, do the interviews, come up with content, and we'll do the rest. And I'm like, well, I can't really turn that down. So, a big shout out to MyTown TV. If you're unfamiliar with what MyTown TV is, well, you're in luck because we're going to tell you what it is right now.
Here we go. Lane, though, has the advantage. 0-2 the count. Cooper puts a charge behind that one. Ingram better get after it. Cooper, it's gone!
Free up Myers. Instead, it's a skip pass taken away by Clark. Caleb Clark now in transition. The two-hand flush for CC. Fire shot, no good. Neal with the board. He'll take the shot at the buzzer and gets it to fall.
Terry will field it at the drops it, picks it up at the 46, is hit immediately, spins off that tackle, runs to the left. He's across the 45. He is grabbed up high. I thought maybe there was a face mask. He's still on his feet, breaks another tackle. He's across the 35-30. Are you kidding me? Are you serious?
There you go. That's what MyTown TV is. So if you're from that region of the world, check it out. They are great. I have seen a lot of those plays on Barstool. Yes.
So
You let her have voice.
the high school news channel is going to support.
It's not just high school. So they also do. They do
largest high school sports is what I said.
Well, it did, yeah.
Yeah. But they also do. So they shut up. Jesus. They also do. Good Lord. Like they do the Live from the Lounge series, which is live music from Fat Ash. They put that on and they put that out there. It's a regional television network there. They do a great job and they're growing. Kudos to them. Like I was getting ready to say before I was so rudely interrupted. I've seen a lot of those highlights that you just saw there on like Barstool Sports. They do a fantastic job. And they've got better equipment than what we've got. And we've got some pretty good equipment, but theirs is pretty great. So I can't wait. So a big shout out to Jeremy and Brian there at MyTown TV for offering their services. And we're gonna have a good time. Yeah. Look at this. Like even Dan says, wow, nice coverage. They are good. They absolutely are. Brian Cornett says, can't wait to see you all this year. Yeah, so we're super excited about it. Now I kind of want to tell you guys exactly who's going to be there. This is the list. I have the full list in front of me. And if you've been paying attention to our social media and My Old Kentucky Herf and Fat Ash's social media, you probably have a pretty good idea of. I think I hit the wrong button there. That's the one I wanted.
That's the one.
That's the one. Sometimes it's hard to produce this yourself. But here's who we've got. We've got let's just go up the list. How's that? Nick Cirrus, LH Cigars, co-host of Simply Stogies podcast. He will be there, repping LH Cigars. Jonah Santana, another friend and sponsor of the show, Blackbird Cigars, will be there, along with, I believe, Miyagi is going to be there as well. Anybody? Yeah, Miyagi's definitely going to be there. Yes. Greg Free, Fortaleza y Libre. Aaron from La Vega Cigars. I talked to him today. Great dude. He'll be there. Garo from Garo Cigars, Garo Baldokian will be there. Chantel Levitt from Belladama Cigars will be there. Armin from DAV Cigars will be there. Dr. Gabby Caffey from Caffey 1901 Cigars will be there. Amanda McAuliffe, like I said, she'll be there. Tom Lazuka, Asylum 13, they'll be there. John Simons, Warfighter Tobacco, is going to be in the house. George Rico from Gran Habano Cigars will be there. Brian Matola Cavalier. Island Jim will be there for OV Cigars. And Luciano Morales, of course, from Luciano Cigars. But that's not all. West Tampa is going to be there. West Tampa Tobacco Company, Aladino, Drew Estate, El Rey Del Mundo, H. Upman Espinoza, Lure is going to be there. Crown Heads, Placencia, Oliva, CAO, Oscar, and Calibri will also be there. Now, here's the thing. They're going to have some lifestyle vendors there. There's going to be Judith Knife Company, the Gant Collective, Ashland Engraving. There's going to be a chainsaw artist. Travis Williams will be there. Obviously, Fat Ash Cigar Lounge is going to be there. They're going to have food and drink vendors. They're going to have Country Boy Brewing, Green River Whiskey, which is their exclusive whiskey sponsor for the show. Woo's Q. Look, if you don't know what Woo's Q is, like if you've gone to My Old Kentucky Herf, some of the best barbecue in the region. Woo's Q, Street Shawarma, Suplex Tacos. As it looks like there's a problem with Rumble. So Tim will take a look at that here in just a second. So if you were watching on Rumble, I apologize. Street Shawarma, Suplex Tacos. Everyone always talks about Suplex Tacos. I can't wait to try them. Scoopy Scoops Ice Cream, Ale81, Milo Sweet Tea. And all of this is sponsored by Luciano, Drew Estate, Oliva, Aladino, McAuliffe, Brown's Landscaping, Powerhouse Properties, People's Bank, David Salisbury with 84 Lumber, Boyd County Tourism, MyTown TV, Simply Stogies Podcast, Fat Ash Cigar Lounge. There's also going to be a charity there. Dogs Inc. will be there. That'll be the charity this year, as they were last year. And, we'll be hearing from them. I believe Luciano Morales is going to be rolling cigars there on the floor both Friday and Saturday. So look forward to that. If you've never seen cigars rolled by anyone before, you're in for a treat. I believe Luciano did that last year on Friday. But look, you're getting fed on Friday. This is such a great event. Go pick up your tickets now. If you haven't, get them. Because there's always, look, Luciano, if you didn't watch our interview with Luciano Morales at the PCA, he teased there's going to be a little surprise there. I don't know what that surprise is. I don't know. I thought maybe it was just going to be like a facelift for the family cigar there at Fat Ash, exclusive to Fat Ash Cigar Lounge. He says no. There's going to be a little surprise. There's going to be a little something. So, with that being said, we did say, and I want to do this before 9 o'clock, so a quarter till seems like a good place to do it. We did say that we were going to pick a winner of the free pit pass. Now, here's the thing, folks, for the free pit pass. In order to have the free pit pass, you have to have purchased a ticket to My Old Kentucky Herf. If you have not purchased a ticket to My Old Kentucky Herf and you win this, you don't win it. If you have a ticket to My Old Kentucky Herf and you purchase a pit pass and you win this, then you will get a $100 gift card to the B&M of your choice. But again, only if you have purchased both a My Old Kentucky Herf ticket and a pit pass. So here we go. Without further ado, we're going to spin the old wheel here on my phone because I didn't want to do it on the computer because it was kind of, I didn't really want to set it up. And the winner is at sticks.in.spirits. Sticks.in.spirits on Instagram. I will send you a DM when this is over. And congratulations on winning the pit pass. Compliments of Simply Stogies podcast.
Congratulations.
Yes, congratulations. Like not
Way to go.
everybody jump up at once and congratulations. Let me for someone, Lou, I want to go to you. For someone who does events as a manufacturer where they're one-on-one.
Yeah.
And you were at the PCA this year for the first time, and obviously that is a very big multi-vendor event.
Yes.
But this is I would say it's a medium-sized multi-vendor event.
Mhm.
What do you prefer the multi-vendor events, or do you prefer the lure events, the lure specific events, and why?
Oh, well, I will say that I'm an enthusiast first, right? So I've been smoking for over 30 years, and it is great to be there as a fellow cigar smoker and be able to meet some of the people that have been in the industry a long time, or meet the new people that are just getting started and have new brands. The collaborative environment, I will say that I can't speak for other industries, but I can speak for the cigar industry, is very welcoming to fellow brands. It goes back to the word that Brian used in terms of at Fat Ash and at My Old Kentucky Herf, you're meant to feel like family. And so everybody has that kind of feeling. They've all got that kind of mindset going into it. Sure, we're all there slinging cigars, but because of the way that they introduce the brands, where all of the different companies put a cigar up as part of the ticket price, you know that everybody's going to get a chance to smoke your cigar, and you'll be selling additional cigars there, but everybody already has kind of a level playing field. So that has been great for being a fellow brand owner, to be there and be next to somebody that's out there that sells millions of cigars a year. You're meant to feel, as equally respected as a brand owner, and you're able to have that interaction with all of those people. Now, so last year there wasn't a pit pass, and everybody that wanted to get their cigar from each vendor had to go around the donut, and they had a kind of a card that was punched. So everybody came up to the booth. You had that personal interaction with everybody. And I think that that will be great this year, where the pit pass gives you that kind of shortcut to where you get all your cigars up front, and it allows people to come up and have that interaction. So you actually have more time with one-on-one with each people as they want to come by, and each enthusiast to come by and talk about the cigars. So, last year it was 350 people that you're telling the same story to as they come around the horn. This, you might be able to have a little more intimate conversation and be able to, engage with the customer and fellow cigar enthusiasts. So I think that that's fine. I love having personal events where it's just your brand and everybody gets to hear the story, and then we all smoke cigars and everything. But this is a great time to be there. And, it's just one of those things. You get to trade cigars with other manufacturers and talk about what they're doing, and you learn. So that educational component of seeing what else people are doing with packaging, seeing what they're doing with distribution, to talk about, where are things, what are the hot things in the industry. You just don't get that type of interaction on a one-on-one situation. So I think that there's benefits to both formats, but I will say that the multi-vendor event has great advantages from a manufacturing perspective, and also from a consumer standpoint. You get to try a whole bunch of different cigars, and you're all in the same place, and it's just a good time.
It is. It's an absolutely fantastic time. Um, the Friday, the pre-registration party is the time to really hobnob, rub shoulders, and get to know some of the folks from around the industry that you don't normally get to just sit down and have a cigar with. Even at, like, Lou, at an event, at a lure event, how often do you get to sit down during the event and just have a cigar with your people? You know what I mean? Like the folks that came to see you, to hear the story, to smoke your cigars. How often do you get to sit down and smoke with them? Not often, right? But at My Old Kentucky Herf, I remember last year on Friday, Lou, and Brian and Shauna, you guys can jump in here as well. The three of us, well, I guess that would be just the four of us, and then Randy was there, so that would make us five, but we'll forget about Randy. The four of us sat down and we got to talk with several people from around the industry, including Brian Matola from Cavalier Cigars.
Yep.
And Lou,
Miyagi.
you got Miyagi from Blackbird, and you got to share your cigars with them and your story with them. And I, like, maybe I'm overselling it, but I feel like that was some invaluable time that you got as a manufacturer with other manufacturers.
Sure. 100%. And retailers.
Oh, yeah.
I think that, like Lou said, I think the atmosphere that they provide created a camaraderie amongst the principals, where they didn't feel like they were in competition with each other. And so they were more relaxed, and they were talking to other people, which made it more approachable for the regular consumer to come up and talk to them, because they weren't trying to do anything but just smoke different cigars, not even theirs, try different ones, and talk to people about them, because there was no competition there. They're not trying to constantly sell their brand. That day in the lounge that we had, it was packed, I will give you that, but still, even though it was packed, you still were able, people still moved around, and the principals still moved around, and you got to talk to everybody. There was never a chance that you couldn't. And I think that the way that it was produced last year made it very much relaxed. I know, at least for Nick and that I talked to, he was very relaxed throughout it. And Lou and Brian, I was able to sit down and talk with them, and sales reps that were there, and they weren't trying to sell you anything. They just were smoking with you. And I think that is the one thing that people should know. When you go to that, approach them. They're very approachable, whereas maybe in other settings they might not be, because they're trying to do something, they're trying to sell, they're trying to make their quota, whatever they got going on.
Yeah. Yeah, Shauna, what say you? I know you had a pretty good time last year, and you're not
I just had,
necessarily the typical cigar smoker.
because like Brian said, everybody was just so welcoming, and they made it so that it wasn't just a one-day event or a night before event. I mean, we spent almost all day Saturday and part of the day on Sunday, and we got there on Thursday. We hung out on Thursday night. We were there on Friday. I mean, it was just a great time all around, and to meet so many different people in the industry and to hear all of their different perspectives on subjects that you don't necessarily get just by sitting in a lounge, because these people are in the profession. And so to hear all their different ideas and it was just freaking fantastic.
I mean, it really is. I know it
Well
sounds like
said.
we're just, we're all just like gushing over it, right? I
That's
get that.
because it is honestly the most amazing thing that I've ever been to.
Except our Herfs.
Except
Our
our
Herfs are
Herfs,
pretty.
sorry.
Our Herfs are really good.
Yeah, except your Herf.
Yeah. Let's just we're still a retailer.
Yeah, except your Herfs. No, they're better. Sorry, my Old Kentucky Herf is better. It's just better.
It is better. It's way better.
It's way better.
The one in July is going to be awesome.
Yeah, the one. Well, I mean, you've got to. We'll talk about your events. You got a lot of events coming up this summer, starting here in the month of May. So we'll talk about that. I definitely want to give Smoldering Cigar their due. You guys do have a lot of events going on, but like this is, and we discussed this last year whether or not Kentucky is Midwest or not, and regardless of it if it is or if it's not, gateway to the South, whatever you want to call it. They're just the nicest people, and this event is my favorite multi-vendor event. And I've gone to other multi-vendor events. Tim, you've gone to the Nebraska Cigar Fest back when they used to have the Nebraska Cigar Fest.
Yeah. I've gone to
and
the
you've gone to
Nebraska
Big
Cigar
Smoke.
Fest. Big Smoke, yeah.
Yeah. So let's ask the guy who has no clue what he's walking into. None whatsoever. Tim, what are you expecting from this?
Here, that's kind of an unfair question, right? Because if I was going to actually sit back and enjoy it and relax, I think I would really like to see the atmosphere and all the things that I've heard all of you say so great about the My Old Kentucky Herf. Like, I want to see that. I want to experience it. But I think this year, it's my first year. I think maybe at the very beginning, I'll have a little bit of time to like kind of hang out and get to talk to people. But Saturday is going to be busy for us. So I don't necessarily know if I'm going to get to experience the event or if it's just going to fly by right in front of my eyes. I really don't know.
Okay, but the event is not just that one day. That's the point.
Yep.
So the event,
right.
It goes multiple days. So even though James was busy that day, I spent more time with him, even though I lived with him. I spent more time with him and Lou and Nick.
Let's quantify that for just a second. Let's back up. For just
Me and Brian lived with him. We stayed in the same house.
Yeah, we stayed in the same Airbnb.
Yeah.
All right, just making sure we're clear on the living situation there.
Good save, James.
Thanks, buddy.
It was multiple.
I can pass her off if you want.
No, thank you. I appreciate it.
I think you will absolutely have a time to sit down and relax and talk to people and hang out.
Yeah, no, you will, Tim. Friday, I think, is going to be a little more laid back now. I think we're going to try to record with Brian and Steven and hopefully their wives Friday morning before everything kind of kicks off, and that'll go out May 15th for us. That'll be the next podcast, and that'll be a lot of fun. But this live stream is an opportunity for everyone around the country and honestly around the world to really see what a regional multi-vendor event can be. And Dwight and Steven put a lot of time and a lot of effort into this.
Yeah.
And Steven couldn't be with us tonight. He had other things going on, and Dwight's got a personal matter that he's attending to. So our thoughts and prayers are with Dwight. But we're looking forward to seeing them both there this next week, Friday May 9th, Saturday, May 10th. It's going to be a good time. Tim, myself, and we've got someone else coming to help us out. Mike will be there on Thursday, hopefully afternoonish, depending on what time we leave. It's a 10-hour drive. We'll be taking some of our equipment to record the podcast, and it's honestly, I look forward to this every year. I really do. They have an army of volunteers, and I'm gonna kind of love on Dwight and Steven here for just a second. There are lounges all across the country that I've been in, a lot, a lot, probably more so than some, and maybe not as many as others. But I've been in a lot of lounges across the country, and I have been in some very good lounges. I mean, very good lounges. Some of the best lounges.
Thank you.
I think well, I hadn't mentioned your name, but I appreciate you jumping the gun there.
Jesus, Brian.
Some of the best lounges in the world, and with some of the best customer service. And there is nothing quite like Fat Ash Cigar Lounge in Ashland, Kentucky. There really isn't. And I think I tell this story every year, and I'm going to tell it again now. It is after my first My Old Kentucky Herf, which I believe was their second annual My Old Kentucky Herf. This is their fifth annual. His members, the members of Fat Ash Cigar Lounge, took up a cash donation for Dwight and his wife Shannon to go on vacation because they knew how much time and energy and money that Dwight had dumped into making My Old Kentucky Herf a success. And he didn't do it for himself, and he didn't do it for the money, and he didn't do it for any other reason than he has a passion for cigars, and he has a passion for the folks in his lounge, and he has a passion for his friends and his family, and they truly are his family. And I've never seen that in any other lounge I've been in across the United States, where the members are as bought in to what the owners are doing as the owner is. And they don't really have a whole lot of skin in the game other than they get to go have a place, a B&M, that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, rain or shine, snow or sleet, they can go in, they can sit down, they can have a great cigar, and be with family. And that's awesome. And that's the kind of culture that I would invite every lounge owner across the United States to try to cultivate. It's not easy. I know it's not easy. It's hard to do that. It's hard enough to run a business and create a culture in the business with your employees that you want to try to succeed, but to be able to succeed and be able to put on a multi-vendor event over multiple years and make it better every year is fantastic. And that says something about Dwight, and it says something about Steven, and it says something about everyone who works there. And they have, like I said, an army of volunteers every year, and it's a literal fucking army of people that go in there to help out with this huge event. 300 plus people every year from across the country come to this, and it's always a good time. I invite you guys to go. There might still be tickets left. fatash.com/event. The pit pass is gone. It's done. You guys missed it. Sorry. But you don't want to miss this event. I promise you don't. It's such a great time. If you don't want to take my word for it, take everybody else's word for it. And I can't wait to, listen to Tim tell you how great it is next year, because it is a great time.
You're missing the big part, James. The bang for the buck is also.
Oh
yeah, it's going to be almost 30 cigars. $250 gets you almost 30 cigars.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's not just cheap cigars. They're giving out good cigars.
Yeah, and that's less than $10 a stick.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't want to miss this. Great vendors, better people like My Old Kentucky Herf. So yeah, that's gonna wrap up. Unless anybody has anything else they want to say about My Old Kentucky Herf, that's gonna wrap up our My Old Kentucky Herf pre coverage of My Old Kentucky Herf. Join us for the live stream this coming Saturday, not a week from tomorrow. Live stream May 10th. 6.5 hours. We're going to start. We've got great content lined up for you. We've had some great participation from the manufacturers, the vendors that are going to be there. You're gonna hear from Dogs Inc. You're gonna hear from Dwight. You're gonna hear from Steven. You're gonna hear from everybody. So it's gonna be a great time. Tune in Saturday, starting at 10:30 Central. No, that's not right, because it's gonna be 9:30 Central, because they're Eastern. 9:30 Central, and it's gonna go till 4 o'clock Central. So 5 o'clock, I think. So tune in. You don't want to miss it. Check out our Facebook, our YouTube, wherever you're watching this at. It'll be a lot of fun. Look, it's the top of the hour, which means I need to remind you that this episode of Simply Stogies After Dark is brought to you by smallbatchcigar.com. Go to smallbatchcigar.com. Use coupon code Stogies. You're going to get 10% off your entire order. Look, you're going to get 5% bonus reward points as well. Now, this 5% bonus reward points, bank them. It's May. It's the beginning of May. You got time until the holidays. You want to bank these reward points now so you can get yourself something nice come the holidays. Right? Father's Day's coming up. What? You going to get a fucking tie? You going to get a fucking mug from your kid that says best dad ever? Oh, thanks, sweetie. That's great. I appreciate it. Go get yourself something nice. Treat yourself. Get yourself what you really want. Go to smallbatchcigar.com. Aficionados know, enthusiasts know, and now you know. Smallbatchcigar.com. Use coupon code Stogies. 10% off, bonus 5% reward points. Sometimes you just got to treat yourself. You got to treat yourself. They got a lot of cool stuff up there. Lure, Blackbird, Valakari, Dapper, Matilde, you name it. They probably got it. Go check them out. AG Cigars. We just had Alex Glez on from AG Cigars. Great story. Go check that episode out. Cuban immigrant, and steeped in the cigar world, and now he's got his own company, AG Cigars. Go check them out. Smallbatchcigar.com. This episode of Simply Stogies podcast is also brought to you by Lure Cigars, home of The Last Cast. That's coming out next month in June. You don't want to miss this. The Last Cast is an absolutely beautiful cigar. Broadleaf. Oh, it's absolutely delicious. And it is a tribute to Lou's father, who passed away in June a couple of years ago. And right after his, what birthday was it, Lou?
90th.
90th birthday. Jesus, if I lived to 90, like, no one's going to like that. But look, it's a great cigar. Limited edition. How many are coming out this year, Lou? I've got Lou here. Why would I not use Lou? Lou, how many are coming out? How many you got produced?
We have 5,000.
So last year it was what, 1,000?
We had 1,600 last year.
1,600, and now it's up to 5,000. And
Yep.
you sold out pretty quick. I know you've got a couple stashed away for yourself. You don't
Yep.
want to miss it this year. The Last Cast coming out next month. Lou, you were smoking it at the top of the show. Is it still hit like it did?
Yeah, it's pretty great. It's just a cigar that I really like to smoke on special occasions, and it's one of those cigars that I find makes me sit down and reflect and just kind of just why we smoke cigars, right? So it's a delicious smoke, and I have a couple left from last year, and I'm looking forward to this year's batch coming. Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate that kind words. But I wanted to make a little bit more. We sold out so fast last year, and we've added retailers and much more enthusiasm within our consumer lure fans that are out there. So we want to make sure that everybody has a chance to smoke it. So I'm sure that Smoldering's going to pick up some.
Yes, we are.
And we'll have them this summer. So that cigar is something that if you smoke lure, that's great. But if you want to have a special cigar, definitely don't miss the Last Cast.
Yeah, do not miss it. Smoke great cigars, telltale tales, Lure Cigars. Go try it. Like, I don't know what else to tell you guys. If you guys have not tried Lure yet, are you living under a rock? Like, what are you doing with your life? Like, you should probably just ask yourself some very hard questions. And when you're done asking those questions, order from Small Batch and then go to your front door. They'll be there. And smoke Lure. That's really all I got to say about that. We'll get into the second cut here. I know Tim's smoking that giant frickin' Lorenz from the Cypher. Look at him. Look at him. He's still got a whole cigar left.
Yeah, it's like that's a whole. That's a whole
I don't think
Toro.
I don't think I'm down to the final third yet.
No.
No.
That thing is a monster. It's a monster. Look, we're talking about events. That's what we're talking about. The PCA's over. Thank Christ. Everything's uploaded. Everything's scheduled. All of our coverage ends tomorrow afternoon at 4:00. But look, tomorrow at noon, guys. Before I get to the intern. Ryan's got some brownie trout and jolly walleye.
Wrong letter there.
Well, no, he fixed it here. I was just he fixed it. He saw his mistake. He's got and those are great cigars. I've got a whole pack of speckled perch I haven't even opened yet.
Oh,
I'm just letting those sit. Yeah, I'm letting those sit.
Brian may hunt you down for those.
That may be true.
Right.
That's my favorite.
But we're talking about events. Our coverage ends of PCA tomorrow at 4:00 with our last interview with Cavalier Cigars, and myself and Sebastian sit down for what was the longest interview we were able to do there. We did it on day 3. We had a couple of hiccups with the new camera system on day 3. Our cameraman didn't like turning things off, so batteries died. But the audio's there. It's only a couple of minutes, but it was a good 20-minute interview with him. But we did have a little bit of fun while we were there. We picked up a new intern for Simply Stogies podcast, Pete Johnson. He goes, so you can watch that interview at noon. He goes over to My Father and interviews the national sales manager for My Father. And it's a good interview. It's fun. Like, go watch it. So we're very thankful for our new intern, Pete Johnson. Also, he's fired until next year at the PCA. So I don't know. Can I fire Pete Johnson? Is that a thing, Tim? Can I do that?
I don't think you can. I think he did that out of the kindness of his heart and
release from service.
Yes, release from service. Yes, there you go.
He had a lot of fun doing that. So that I got to be the cameraman for that. It was fun to watch.
He's on sabbatical until next year, guys.
He's on sabbatical until I like
We're
that.
not releasing him. He's on a sabbatical until next year.
See, this is
the luckiest guy in the program. Only has to do one interview a year.
One interview a year. That's it. So check that out tomorrow at noon, and then tomorrow at 4:00. And I forget what's coming out. Hey, I remember Rabbit Air. Air. Tim's interview with Rabbit Air. You really enjoyed that interview.
I did.
So I hope you guys have enjoyed all of the content we've been pumping out. 4 a day for the last couple of weeks. It was a pain in the dick, and I just want to thank again publicly our entire team that went: Tim, Randy, Jimmy. Without those guys, this wouldn't have happened.
Nick, obviously,
and Nick, obviously. Nick busted his ass
mm-hmm.
and put out a shit ton of interviews. He beat me in interviews. I think he had 33 to my 28. So congratulations, Nick. You beat me. And all of his interviews are great. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the content. If you haven't, go check it out on YouTube or Rumble. It's up there for all of you to enjoy throughout the year and until I die or YouTube goes away or the earth burns up, whichever of those 3 happens first. Speaking of events, I did promise the folks over at Smoldering Scar that we would talk about some events. They got some great events coming up here very soon in Livermore, Iowa, including in September. The second weekend in September is going to be Simply Stogies Fest. Great team effort. Had a lot of fun doing the interview with Nick. Oh, Les Mann, my man. Oh, dude. Les, yeah, that was a great interview. Here's the thing that surprised me about that interview. Go watch it on YouTube with Mr. Mann. He Nick knew a lot about ST DuPont.
Oh yeah,
like a lot about ST DuPont.
Nick knows a lot about a lot of things.
Yeah, true. He does. Nick is a very knowledgeable guy. Les, by the way, look, man, we didn't ask for samples at the trade show, but if you can get me a sample of that Superman ST DuPont lighter coming out,
feel a middle finger emoji coming.
Yeah, right. Look at that. Nick knew more than me. I doubt that. But that lighter looks fantastic. I already told the wife, I'm like, hey, when this comes out, I'm going to need $2,000 because I'm going to go buy this lighter.
Right.
It's beautiful.
I'm digging on the Fender series as a guitar guy. Those just look amazing.
Speaking of Fender, I got a Fender up right there as soon as the smoke clears. There you go. I got my Fender bass right there. Yeah, but I'm a comic book guy. Yeah, there's the base right there, right
There
above
it
the
is.
Avowed Cigars logo.
And right
Yeah,
underneath the Lure Cigar sign.
right underneath the Lure Cigars and right across from Baby Yoda from Joyful Cigar Art. Yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous lighter. Everything that ST DuPont comes out with is just fucking gorgeous. I mean, it really is. But I told the wife $2,000. Like, just get ready for it. Like, Father's Day's coming up. You have to buy it. But Livermore's got a lot of Smoldering Cigars got a lot of great events coming up. Simply Stogies Smoke Fest coming up September, second weekend of September, Livermore, Iowa. If you're an LE Club member, look, first you can come on these lives. You can hang out with us like Lou and Brian and Shauna. Brian Bradley's been on. Gesticles has been on. Randy's been on. We've had a ton of folks come on. You can come on here first Friday of every month, hang out with us. But look, you're also going to get some great cigars. You're going to get 10 cigars. You're going to get 5 LH cigars. You're going to get 5 Lure cigars just for being an LA Club member, even if you don't show up to the event. I'll be sad if you don't. But if you don't, you're still going to get those cigars because we appreciate everything you've done for us and help support a small podcast. So look forward to that. And look, while you're there at Livermore, if you're not an LE Club member, you can sign up. $100 a year right there. Put it in my hand, little man or woman. And guess what? You're going to get those 10 cigars right there on the spot. So Simply Stogie Smoke Fest, there's going to be food. There's going to be it's just going to be a lot of fun. We're going to live stream from that second Saturday in September. Working our way backwards, you guys have an event coming up in July with none other than our friend Lou Cross from Lure Cigars. Lou's going to take the trip out to Iowa, Livermore. Yes, and we're gonna have a lure event right there at Smoldering. You guys want to talk about that for a second?
Sure, you guys go ahead, talk about that.
Great. You are a woman of self-promotion. I love it. Thank you so much,
Well, I
Shauna.
got Brian and Lou. They can do all the talking this time.
Well, I don't want to steal any thunder away from Brian, but I will tell you this. So when I was first starting out last year, friends of the show, you mentioned that there was this shop in Livermore, Iowa. I know nothing about Iowa geography. I still am learning. And, we were connected, and Brian was introduced to my story, and we had a phone conversation that it ended up, we got a kind of a, FaceTime call and got to meet Shauna and Brian, and we took a tour of the lounge, and we had a couple-hour conversation, as it seems. But it was like, it felt like 5 minutes, and it felt like I was talking to family. And I got to share my story, and Brian tried the cigars, and I think Shauna may even have smoked one or two at the same time. And he said, look, I really like your story. We'll give it a shot, and we'll bring it into the lounge. And, the rest is history. And so we became fast friends remotely. And then we got the chance to meet at My Old Kentucky Herf.
Yep.
In person, and we spent a lot of time and hung out at the Airbnb, and it's just one of those things that I feel like I'm a brother and sister of the leaf, and sitting back, and your customers have enjoyed Lure, and you continue to promote the brand, so I really appreciate it. And when the opportunity came available, that you guys said that you want to have an event coming up, is it Livermore Days?
Yeah.
So there's a regional event there, and you guys are like cigar mecca for Iowa. It's 2 hours away from everywhere. And so geographical oddity. But I will say that I'm still looking at a map of Iowa, got to figure out where everything is. But I am so excited about coming up there and meeting your customers and people that have traveled. I've got some friends that are from a Herf that we hang out on Discord and things, and they're going to make the trip from Omaha and make the trip from Indiana. And so I think that there's a number of people that I'm looking forward to seeing in person and coming up to the event. So I'm really looking forward to it. I bought my plane ticket, so it's official. That is something we did this week. So I can't wait to come up there and see Iowa for the first time. I've flown over Iowa and driven next to it, but I've never actually been in the state, so it'll be my first time.
We're gonna be happy to have you. I know Smoldering Cigars is gonna be very ecstatic to have you as well. We'll be picking you up in the Quad Cities, and I'll give you the tour of Iowa. It's a short tour. There's some corn and fuck all else.
There's some cows.
Maybe some soybeans, some pork. That's about it. That's about all we got. But
That
there are a
and
few,
smoldering cigar.
that smoldering cigars.
cigar.
I'll take you to other shops here in Iowa, Lou, so you kind of get a feel about, so this is what smoldering has to offer as opposed to some of the
Sure.
other shops. Yeah.
Seriously.
Which smoldering is objectively one of the better shops in Iowa.
It's worth the drive.
It is worth
Thank
the
you.
drive. Absolutely worth the drive. It's a 3-hour drive for me. I'll actually be there tomorrow and Sunday. But
Are you going tomorrow too?
yeah, I'm like, well, yeah, I don't want to have to get up on Sunday morning and drive, so I'll just spend the night in Humboldt and then drive back on Sunday. Yeah, that's the plan. As long as your guys are okay with it, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, we're
I
perfect.
mean, I don't have to come if you don't want me to.
Shut up, Dibs.
Okay. Sure. Here's the fun thing about when Lou is there. When Lou's there, he's going to spend a few days with us here in Iowa, and then he's going to head back to Tallahassee. And immediately after, if you are in Iowa, I want to invite you personally to come to Smoldering Cigar, because for 2 or 3 weeks, Smoldering Cigar will be under new management, and that management is my management. I will be there, and things are going to change. I'm going to make some changes, some much needed changes there in the lounge. So come see me.
Boy.
I'll be there every day. I'm running 20, 30, 40% off some cigars.
He's
Accessories,
killing me.
accessories. Like, you know what?
Yeah.
You buy a box. I mean, I'm going to be drunk with power. You buy a box, you might get a free accessory. I don't know what that accessory is going to be.
Sean
Might
and
be-
Brian, you better restock on lure because he's going to smoke you out of house and home.
All the LH and all the
look.
lure are going to be gone when they come back. They're going to be like, "What the hell happened?" Well, I had to smoke something while I was here.
So
Yeah.
basically, go get it now before you show up.
Yeah.
Under new management for the last couple of weeks of July. You're not going to want to miss it. We're going to call it the Simply Stogies Special. So come hang out, Smoldering Cigar / Simply Stogies Smoke Shop. The last couple weeks of July. It's gonna be absolutely fantastic. I may podcast from there one night. Who knows what's gonna happen? Although I don't know, based on Brian's corn net he's got tonight, maybe not.
You have to podcast from there one night, I think.
I might have to, unless I can get ahead.
Do
But
this from there.
yeah, you're gonna want to come visit me. We're running specials like the last half of July. You're not gonna want to miss it.
However, there will be no old fashions.
Yeah, no old. I'm not making you an old fashioned. You want a dram of whiskey? I can. pour you a
Shit.
little
Now I
dram.
got to go there.
Yeah, so Tim will come there and he'll pour you some. He'll make you an old fashioned. It won't be nearly as good as Sean is, but it'll probably be a little heavy on the whiskey. So
Yeah.
come hang out.
Well, for July, we are definitely looking forward to seeing Lou. It's going to be like family coming home,
It will be. I'm
and
super stoked.
we made a great connection with Lou right from the get-go. I would have to say that from the first phone call I had with Lou, it was a great connection. It wasn't just the story of his cigars, although that in itself is awesome. But I mean, Lou really connected with us, and he was very humble, just a great guy in general. And that is what we promoted our store, and I think that he's going to fit the clientele that come to our store, and it's going to be great. We're also going to have Dogs Inc. there. They're coming up from Florida to we're doing a thing we're connected with Dogs Inc. From the last Kentucky Herf. We made a great connection with them, and so they're going to be there as well.
Oh, great!
It's going to be a great event. It's going to be a good time to meet. And we really do try to model that quiet setting, even though it'll be busy. That Lou will definitely have time to meet and talk with you people, and you'll get to know and see what we saw in him. And that's why we're able to promote his cigars and why they do good in our store, just because he's a great guy. I mean, that's just what it boils down to. And we have brisket that day. We have a smoker coming up from Alabama. He's a champion smoker, and he'll be smoking brisket for the meal that day. So that'll be an added bonus. Hopefully it won't be too hot and we can use the outside patio, because last year it was miserably hot. And but yeah, it is definitely going to be a great time. You definitely want to make that trip for that.
Yep, absolutely.
Jesus, if he keeps talking, you're gonna have to charge me.
That's all right, and that's July. What weekend is that in July?
July 19th.
July
Third
19th.
weekend.
Third weekend in July.
Yep.
And then you know what? You might as well stay in town and get some deals after Sean and Brian are gone. And I'm
That's
I leave
right.
the
There
very
you
next
go.
day.
yeah.
I leave the day after that Herf.
Yeah. So
Oh wow.
I'll be there. It'll be fun. Come see me. It's gonna be a good time. But you've got some other events going on. You've got a Martinez event coming up. Well, why don't you talk about the Martinez event where you're going to introduce your house cigar?
Yes. So Martinez is coming May 31st. I'm smoking the Patamoronio from Martinez. It's one of my favorite cigars from him. They'll be coming. Dave will be coming, and he'll be bringing a roller, and they'll be rolling cigars. We'll have food and drink specials. And he's also blended, me and him have collaborated. Jesus Martinez, and me and him have collaborated to make a cigar, a house cigar, and we'll be introducing that on that day. So
yeah, there you go. So that's gonna be a good time. When is that? May what?
May 31st.
End
From noon to
of the
7.
month. There you go. If you've never tried Martinez cigars, now's your opportunity. Go check out my interview with Jesus at the trade show, where we talk about what it was like working with Brian. To come up with the cigar.
I bet he wasn't happy about that. I was a little picky.
I did. I think I asked him. I was like, "You have to work with these guys." And you're like, "Will you just shut the fuck up and let me blend?" He just started laughing. Oh yeah, that's kind of what I thought. Thanks, Jesus.
I know more than you.
Yeah, he's like, "Yeah, why are you talking?" Like I'm the blender. Like you're yeah. So
it was fun. It was a great collaboration between me and him. It was fun talking back and forth. It was great talking. Dave is a wonderful guy that runs Martinez, and the roller that he's bringing. He was here last year. He's just fast as lightning. I mean, he went through 100 cigars like you wouldn't believe, and it's just great. And you come in, you get a free house cigar when you come in. And so that's just part of the deal. So you get to try my cigar and see how I did. I mean, you can.
Yeah.
I'll be there all day, so you can make fun of me or love it.
100%, 100%. That's exactly. Exactly what's going to happen. Yeah. So look, I want to cut this cigar, but before I can, I got to remind you guys, you can't clip my wings, but you can clip my cigar. Can't Clip My Wings, brought to you by Blackbird Cigar Company. Go try the new Superb in the box Taro Vitola or the new Lancero Vitola. Those were released right. Go check out that as I go to mute. There we go. Go check out those Vitolas. Check out that video that I made with Jonas there at the trade show. Great dude. I love Jonas to death. It's such a great cigar. I was able to smoke the box press Toro there. And they've also got the Metal Art coming out, which is the Kansas State bird. And Kansas has been very good to Blackbird and to Jonas. And so he wanted to do something special for the state of Kansas. And there it is. The Metal Art. Blackbird Cigar Company can't clip my wings. I'm smoking. A buddy of mine was having a pretty tough day, and I talked with him before the show, and he was like, "I'm going to smoke something good tonight." I'm like, "I'm going to smoke something good with you." So I pulled out my last one of the Castagli Club Moreva Spalato, and I'm going to smoke this tonight on the show. Smoking with him, because sometimes you have a hard day. It's just one of those fucking days. And you don't know what to do. So you know what you do? You smoke a good cigar. That's what you do. And so that's what I'm doing. Tim's still smoking the Lorenz from Castagli.
He'll be smoking that till tomorrow.
Yeah.
the Cypher 2x4. Yeah.
Yeah. Brian, what's your second cigar?
Martinez.
Oh, you just told us that. I don't know why. I asked that. Yeah.
Patamoronio.
Yeah. When you talk, I don't listen. That's okay.
Yeah.
I do that.
So please be completely honest when you smoke my cigar. That
I will.
Very helpful.
Will it?
Yes.
I mean, I don't think it will be, but I appreciate you letting me be honest. Lou, what's your second cigar tonight, buddy?
I smoked the Night Commander from Foundation. So this is the Tabernacle Night Commander. You know, Nick Melillo has put out some bangers, and I always love his broadleaf. And this is a cigar that it's just a beautiful cigar, and I'm enjoying it. So it's one of my last ones of these as well.
I almost pulled out the Senator tonight as my second cigar, and then as I moved it, because I picked it up, this was sitting underneath it, and I'm like, "Oh, that's just divine providence." I've got to smoke my last Spalato. This is my desert island cigar. I've always said that. It's such a great cigar from Castagli, and Germany company. I believe this was out of KBF. Just a damn good cigar. Love it. So look, we got a little bit of time left here on the show. Does anybody have anything they want to talk about before I talk about anything that other people may not want to talk about?
Well, it depends on what you want to talk about.
Oh, you know.
No, I don't think we want to go there.
Yeah, probably not. So somebody else give me a topic. Anything. Holy Roman Empire. Neither holy nor Roman. Discuss. Like, I don't care. Somebody give me something, because otherwise, that's all I got to talk about. That's it. I mean, we could talk about the Scarif, but I mean, honestly, I'm so tired of listening to that in the industry. I mean, that's honestly what it is. It's a Scarif. I said that on How About That Cigar. If you missed myself and Tim on How About That Cigar, go check it out. It was a really good conversation with the How About That Cigar guys, Matt and Raul and Fred Rui from Cigar Press. I loved the conversation we had. I thought it was a very constructive conversation about everything about the PCA and everything that went on. Go check that out. That's up there on YouTube. How About That Cigar? I think we're going to put it on our webpage here this weekend. I think Tim's going to get that up.
Yep.
Right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Not to beat a dead horse. I know the PCA is kind of a tired subject with you guys. You guys are coming up on the last drops of the videos, but your coverage has been great, and I appreciate you.
Thank you.
I was there for the first time as a vendor, and first time ever. I never had a chance to go there any other capacity. So it was something where it was just go, go, go. And I'm just curious from a consumer standpoint that maybe if you found any of the cigars or some of the things that are coming out, what are you excited about that's coming out from an enthusiast standpoint? And did you get a chance to smoke anything that really kind of blew your socks off, or is there something out there that you are looking forward to that's coming out that you got a chance to see? And because you got to see a lot more of the show than I did.
Tim, you got anything?
No, I mean, so funny thing is, like, I remember, okay, so last year when we went to the PCA trade show, we didn't get like a whole lot of samples because, again, we don't ask, but we didn't get a whole lot of samples, but we did get more samples last year than we did this year. And there was James and I were driving home, and we were kind of smoking through our handouts, our donations, if you will, and we were like, holy crap, this is good, or this is really good. And this year, I think the samples were a little bit less, a lot of bit less. And no, I would say that at the PCA trade show, I didn't find anything that blew my socks off. However, I need to go back through the list because there are a few vendors that I want to go back and visit, like for instance, Rojas, which will have an interview coming out. Well, not James and Nick will, talking to him. I definitely missed Rojas at the trade show and being able to sample some of their new cigars. So I definitely want to go back and check out their line and what they have going on.
Listen, if you're upset because I only gave you one cigar, I can't.
No, Lou. I am.
Look,
no,
I mean,
no, Lou.
I don't know how
Lou.
that happened because I was handing out samples to anybody and everybody. And
Lou,
sorry,
Lou,
Tim,
okay,
I'll make it up to you.
I was very happy when I went to your booth and Nimmer's booth. I was very happy that every time that I walked by, you guys were so stinking busy that I wasn't even going to try to bother you.
Well,
Yeah.
I was so happy.
That's all right. It won't be a few weeks away, and we'll have plenty of lure to smoke. I can tell you that's for sure. I look forward to seeing you in person again. But I not necessarily that you got a chance to smoke, but even like as you got to see some of the displays and some of the things that were
Yeah.
promoted, did you see anything that kind of like, that there was a lot of cigars that aren't going to be coming out quite yet, right? I'm waiting on my shipment to come in the middle of May to be able to distribute and deliver to all my customers.
Right.
But was there anything that was, coming out? I mean, I'm always looking for what's new from was there anything that kind of caught your attention or caught your eye?
Yeah, there definitely was. The McAuliffe Purple for sure. I bought a box of that released after the trade show. I bought a box of that. Absolutely.
I'm upset that I didn't get to go to the McAuliffe booth when you went there.
Yeah, no, we were going to do a little fun thing with Dan. We just got so busy that we couldn't go back and do it. But yeah, last year, if you remember, Tim took Dan's cigar. We were gonna play.
I didn't even realize.
Was it better than Vegas?
Oh,
yeah.
For me, yes.
100%. 100%. Best show they've put on since we've been doing it for 6 years. That's
Okay.
Yeah, 100%. Josh and company did a great job. One of the best events the PCA has put on, I would say, from everyone I've heard from, like in a very long time. So
yeah,
kudos,
Brian. If you guys have the opportunity to go to New Orleans next year for the trade show, you just have to do it. Because then the year after that, they're going back to Vegas for a couple of years. Sounds like they're going to kind of jump back and forth.
Yep.
So if you can make it, you got to
go to New Orleans.
All right, sounds like a date.
The McAuliffe Purple caught my eye. The Deviled Crab from West Tampa, along with their Dark Time, that's going to be released later this year, caught my eye. I can't wait to try the Deviled Crab when I'm in Ashland later this week. I think they've got it in stock. Hopefully they'll still have it in stock by the time I get there. The Dark Time, it's their most expensive cigar they've put out to date, and it comes with this great looking cutter that looks like a watch. I'll be purchasing that. The Anthology from Blackworks. Is it Blackworks or Black Label?
Both.
Is it both? Yeah. So it comes in this nice box. It's 21 cigars, and it's got a boom box on it. And I got
that's
mine.
Blackworks.
Blackworks.
The boom box is Blackworks. Studio.
So I picked that up from Small Batch, and I'm really looking forward to getting into that. And that's got the last 10 years worth of like LEs from them. So that's interesting. And for me, for a guy who only started smoking 7 years ago, like I missed 3 years of those LEs. And I think the first one that I got from Blackworks was the Boondock Saints, back when they called it the Boondock Saints, which is my favorite movie ever. I picked that up just because it was my favorite movie ever. And I'm like, I love the box. I still have the box. And it's gorgeous, and it's got the I think hands with the rosary on it. And I'm not Catholic, but I just love that movie. And they've since rebranded it Boondock, and great cigar that I don't think I could fully appreciate as a brand new cigar smoker, 6-7 years ago. So for me, being able to try that is fantastic. There were some other ones, like I said, the Superb box press Toro was fantastic. I really did enjoy that. The Lumineer from Valakari is one that, like, that's something that Nimmer's worked on for years. And, he's a perfectionist, and he finally released that. He released that at the trade show. So that one stood out to me. As far as newcomers go, Vance Stoic.
Oh yeah.
The Stoic is a great cigar. The and all the different Vitolas. He insisted I try the Wisdom, which is their Churchill. He's like, nah, this is the blend.
The Wisdom is the one that I like.
Yeah, that's the one you like.
Yeah.
So there were definitely some standouts, and there were some great interviews and great times with people. The interview with Michael Herklotz was like everybody who took the time with us.
He was very gracious, and it was because he had been on your podcast, he was familiar with me indirectly. And when I got a chance to meet him in person, it was great. We traded cigars, and it was, just one of those moments that he made a connection and was just gracious and just so welcoming. And then it was being our booth was between Aganorsa and Warped, where we were, and I got to meet Kyle Gellis, and we traded cigars, and he gave me one of the new Porto Maduros, and that cigar is really good. And I'm a big fan of Warped, and that particular cigar was just a banger. I can't wait till that gets released pretty soon. So I'm looking forward to smoking that again.
We didn't get a chance to stop at the Warp booth. We did stop at Nick and Tim stopped at Aganorsa and talked with Terrence.
Yep.
Yeah, it was busy. It was just busy. I got a chance to meet Dave West and Andrew in person from Small Batch Cigar and Avowed Cigars, and talk with them, and that for me was the highlight. Talking to Mo, we got to give Mo the Cigar of the Year award. That was a highlight for me. Our first Cigar of the Year award to give away, and he was very appreciative of that. So for me, that was kind of an emotional moment. It was a good show overall, and I don't know what Tim's talking about, Lou. Every time I would walk by your booth, I'd just stop by and be like, hey, and you're like, hey, you want some cigars? Well, I'm not gonna say no. And you're like, here you go, like 3 cigars. I'm like, all right, thanks, man. And then I just bounce. So I got a ton of fucking lure. Fucking Tim.
That's messed up. that's messed up.
Yeah,
like every time I walked by, because I mean, we've herfed a million times, and this is the first opportunity for us to meet in person. And so I'm like, oh, I got to go talk to Lou. But every time I walked by, you were busy. I'm like, all right, I'll come back by later. I think I only got to stop by twice in total.
That's the thing. And even on day 3, everyone was busy, which is great to see, right? Like it was really great to see everybody was busy on day 3, which is not something that typically happens.
No,
which I think I think that goes to just what a great event that they put on. And I think everybody was doing business. And so the tariffs, I mean, I realize now that some of these folks are raising their prices, and that's fine. I get it. I don't know. Like,
it is what it is.
Yeah, I don't care.
I mean,
it's 10%.
It's a hobby.
It's
right.
10. Well, it's 10%. I don't care. It's not the end of the world. And it's not like it's 20% or 18% or whatever the fuck it was going to be. And it still might be that. Who knows at the end of the night?
Right.
And I think people are just kind of hedging their bets, saying that this tariff's here to stay. So some of these folks are raising their prices. Some folks are lowering prices. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I guess from a manufacturing standpoint, Lou, did you look at that and go, maybe I should raise my prices? Like, is that something you've even entertained, or is that something you're like,
We definitely looked at it, but I'm still building relationships, and I've got great relationships with our existing retailers, and we've got some new retailers coming online in the next couple of weeks. And so we just made a commitment. Nimmer and I, consulted with each other and looked at it. The tariff affects our, the actual production invoice from the factory. And so, what does that mean? And, the price for the cigars is going up in terms of what it is, but we decided to keep our prices static through the show because we had printed all our price sheets and we had committed to those prices. So we have maintained that, and we'll continue to maintain that going forward for the next few months. And I think that's where we're going to be. I mean, we'll reevaluate it once we see the next impact, and hopefully things will calm down and things will work out. I mean, it could be a phone call tomorrow and things are different. And so because of the uncertainty, we didn't want to pass on that uncertainty to the consumer. The question I think Ryan asked about, if I saw the comment correctly, if it's 10%, what does that mean for the consumer? I think that, our practice is keystone pricing. So, as the manufacturing price, you wholesale it, and then the wholesaler keystones that up to where the manufacturer's suggested retail price is. And
right.
So
let's do it. I want to answer that question. Let's do just simple math. I'm just going to use round numbers.
Yep.
Because I'm an idiot. So if the cigar costs the manufacturer, this is with packaging, the band, the whole 9 yards, the S chip, but it's just literally from the factory. It's whatever the wholesale of that cigar is, right? It's $3.
Manufactured cost.
Yeah, the manufacturer cost. So it's $3,
Yep.
right? So 10% of $3 is what? 30 cents, right? So that's
Correct.
$3.30. So they then take that cigar and they sell that cigar to the retailers. They keystone it. So it's
At
double.
wholesale.
Right.
Yep.
So it's doubled. So the wholesale price then would be $6.60, which then the retailer then turns around and they keystone that. So that $6.60 cigar that it cost them now costs you as a consumer. It's $6.60 times 2. They keystone it. So that's, if my math is correct, that's $13.20. Now that
Correct.
doesn't include local taxes or anything like that.
Right.
So it turns what would be let's just say it's a $3 cigar, right? So 6 and then 12. It's a $12 cigar into a $13.20 cigar. It adds, let's just say $1 to every cigar you buy. So if you're buying a box of 20,
good
it's
math.
$20. That I'm just going to be honest, and I don't mean this to be flippant, and I don't mean this to be an asshole, but if you can't afford a $20 increase in a box price, you probably can't afford a box to begin with. So what are we bitching about? I mean, honestly.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of the same thing where like you have wait staff. I see this BS on Facebook all the time. Like if you can't afford a 25% tip, then you can't afford to go out and eat, right? Like if you're willing to pay the price, then you're good. It doesn't really hurt anything.
Right.
I will say the only thing that I hesitate with that, I mean, your math is correct, is that everybody's trying to compete for the attention of that consumer, and consumers have limited resources. And when you have a $12 price point for a cigar and they're used to paying $12 for a cigar, that the moment it goes to $13.20, that there's so much variation in who's raising prices and what they're raising prices to. Some people have raised 20%, some have been 10%, some have 5%, whatever they are. Because there's so many unknowns that, you know, if my cigar that people are used to smoking at $12 becomes $13.20, if there's another cigar on the shelf that's $12, you know, for whatever reason, whether they've raised prices or they kept prices the same or whatever, or lowered prices in some cases, you have to compete for that person that's wanting to spend $12. And so I think it will come out in the wash. And I think that over time, it will, you know, it will reveal itself. You have to be able to make money doing this, otherwise it's not worth your time doing. But at the same time, we wanted to make sure that we tried to keep prices as similar as they have been and static, so that we can continue to have people, you know, enjoy our cigars and are accustomed to buying a Toro for $12 or $13. And so that's where we are. If we find that the margins aren't where they need to be in order to be successful and be responsible to being able to sustain our brand, we'll have to raise prices. And that is something where, you know, there's inflationary, just natural inflation that happens over time, and you have to be careful of that too. So, you know, we're going to keep an eye on it and, you know, just try to provide the best cigar for the money that we can provide.
Yeah, and I think there's a couple things to remember here. The manufacturer cost is going to be much greater than the consumer cost.
Yeah.
Because the manufacturer's buying cigars in bulk. So it takes what is a $30,000 master order into a, you know, they 10% on that into a $33,000 or $33,000
correct
order. So the manufacturers are the ones who are going to eat that cost immediately up front.
Right.
And so that's the first thing to keep in mind. The second thing to keep in mind is the companies, and again, I'm not denigrating or trying to be negative to the companies who've raised their cost. If they've raised their cost, you have to assume that they took a look at it and said, we have to raise our cost.
Sure.
Is that if the tariff suddenly goes away overnight, are they gonna reverse that?
No,
they never do.
They never do.
Once you get to this point, you're there.
But they've been raising prices for the past 3 years too.
They've been raising prices for the last forever.
Yeah,
like, that's just how this works.
Your top $10 $10 cigar is no longer $10, and
Mm-mm.
that's been the way that it is. I think the tariff is just more scaring people. Like I
Yeah.
said last time we talked about tariffs, they look, if you make a great cigar, this is a hobby, and when people are coming into it, I get it. Money does factor into how many or what you're going to do, but when it's a great cigar, it's a great cigar.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
if it's $1 more, then it's $1 more, because you know what? Even if there wasn't tariffs, most likely with what's going on down there and job jumping and trying to keep employees and all the new companies coming up and the rolling and keeping the consistency that cigar manufacturers want to keep, because that's how you keep customers, is by having a great cigar. It's going to cost you a little bit more, and every year that's going to raise, just because that's just the nature of it. Is the throwing tariff in there is just a scare tactic, and putting a lot of blame on like people like Lou and stuff, because now their $12 cigar is $13.20. Well, hey man, if it was good at 12, it's great at $13.20. You're
Yeah.
still getting your value for the cigar. The fact that it costs more, I mean, let's break it down. I mean, when we were buying eggs when I was a kid, is way less than what I'm buying eggs for now. So, I mean, that's just what you got. You got to you just don't get scared about it. Just realize that the retailers and the manufacturers aren't trying to gouge you. They're just trying to make it what they have to make to survive.
Right. Right. Absolutely. And, I don't think there's any malice or any, like greed in it
No.
at all. It's people are taking a look at it. If they can eat it, they'll eat it. And if they can't, they can't. Now, I think the majority of the manufacturers are waiting for this 90-day period to be over before they make a decision on what they're going to do.
Right, good idea.
Which I think is the prudent thing to do. I think anyone who's, and again, I'm trying very hard not to denigrate folks or to be negative about companies. But I think that some people jump the gun. That's my personal opinion, but it's not my business. I don't know their financial
Right.
status. I don't know anything about it. And I feel like it's easy to do that. It's low hanging fruit, and it's easy for consumers like myself to bitch and moan and complain. So I'm trying not to do it. And, I think we just kind of wait and see. But again, honestly, if you can't afford $1 extra on your favorite cigar, maybe you shouldn't be in this hobby.
Yeah.
Well,
And
I'm
that's
just
what
an
they say.
expert.
Make sure you understand it's a hobby. And great
Yeah.
cigars are great cigars. I mean, there are top companies that have been charging $20 for the past 10 years, and people buy them up. I mean, look at Perdone and Placentia and some of the big companies that's just been the way they've been. And it's just, if you love their cigars, you have to understand they're not doing it to hurt you. They're doing it to provide you that same consistency and that same great cigar. It just costs a little bit more, and that's not their fault. It's just the way it is.
Ryan, have you been talking to a certain manufacturer?
No.
No, not you, not Brian. Ryan. You might be right, Ryan. That they're just using it as an excuse to raise prices. I don't know. And again, we're talking about 10%, guys. It's 10%. It's not the end of the world. 10% on $30 is $3. 10% on it's not on $10 is $1. It's not that big of a deal. It's not the end of the world. I promise. It's not. I think the industry as a whole has been for years insulated from this kind of stuff, from the economic kind of stuff. And this is something that hits us directly. And so for the first time in forever, people are just freaking out about it. Cause like, oh my God.
Europe.
Yeah. Go to Europe, go to Australia, go to Canada for Christ's sake. And,
try to buy a cigar in Canada. Holy cow.
Yeah. The taxes are insane. Insane.
It's $100 cigar, $20 cigar is $100.
Yeah. So, in Australia is the same way. I remember having a conversation with Aquiles, and he was like, there are guys that even Fox Cigars, when we had Fox on, he was, he said, there was a guy he knew, he was a cab driver who would come in every week and he'd buy one cigar, right? Because that's what he could afford was one cigar. And when all the taxes and everything hit in Australia, all of a sudden now that guy's not around anymore because he can't afford that one cigar. That was his treat every week was the one cigar. And so those are the folks that I think that it's going to hit are your very casual smokers that are like, oh man, it went up $1. Well, screw it. I can go find something else to do.
James, a valid point though, right? Because you've mentioned 10% a couple of times, right? Like the cigar goes up 10%, right? But then if you go to small batch and use the coupon code Stogies, you save that 10%, and it's like nothing ever happened.
There you go. Like there's Tim, big brain Tim.
That was not my idea.
Boy, Tim.
Whose idea was it?
That was Shauna.
Oh, shut that! Look at the big brain on Shauna. I mean, Tim's kind of got a big brain for stealing it. I mean, I probably wouldn't have given Shauna credit, but he did. So there you go. Shauna's not wrong. Go to small batch. Use coupon code Stogies. Look, if a retailer's telling you go to small batch, like
no, that's fine. That's why the text got sent to Tim.
I see. You texted it to Tim in secret.
In confidentiality, and then I let it out of the bag.
You let it out
because
of the bag.
It's a valid point, right?
It is.
I mean, okay, your cost is going up a little bit, like you said, 10%, but then you've got all these retailers that are offering 10% discount. So it's a wash in the end.
Yeah, and look, they're
and
always
if you buy now before it goes up, then you're ahead of the game.
You're ahead of the game.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I think that there is another component to it that, my experience has been from a consumer standpoint. I have a set budget of what I was willing to spend for my cigar budget for the month. And, say it's a couple $100 or whatever for cigars. Well, most of my experience has been that people spend between $100 and $200 for a true enthusiast that's going after, smokes and smoking multiple times a week. Well, you're going to continue to spend that same amount of money, and you may just get less cigars for that experience. And that's one thing if you're going to continue to smoke the same cigars that you're used to smoking. But I will say that I have tended to notice from a manufacturer standpoint that there are a number of cigars that are coming out in smaller vitolas and in different packaging to go from a box of 20 down to a box of 10. And that's been a trend that's happened over the last couple of years.
I kind of like that trend.
I do too, because it allows you to be a box buyer and buy multiple cigars of a brand that you like or a certain offering that they have. And we are trying to do our best to try to find blends and things from a manufacturer standpoint that offer a great value at that $10 or sub $10 price point, because there was a time when I first started smoking cigars decades ago. The first box of cigars I ever bought was a box of Fuente Numero Unos. And this is before Opus. This is before Hemingways and everything else. It was just a straight up Fuente. It was like in 1992, 93. And I think that the total cost all in for a box of 25, not 20, was like $42. It was like $39 plus tax. And I was like, this is a hobby and this is something I can get into. It's affordable. And that same box of cigars now would be, $250 plus. And, knowing that there are cigars are more expensive. It is a hobby that does require some investment. It's going to force people to go out there and look for other cigars at the price point at which they think they can do. And there's a lot of places you can go out and buy cheaper cigars, but I hope it doesn't put a dent in the brick and mortars that put the time and energy into providing spaces and lounges where we can go and get together and curate the humidors to where they're putting great cigars in front of their customers. And I think that the burden is on the retailer to be able to be familiar with what's in their humidor and to communicate that to the consumer, because there's a lot of people that are getting, just started or they're not all that knowledgeable about the types of cigars that they could possibly be smoking. And, depend on going into the humidor of your local brick and mortar shop or online retailer that has reviews and that they put a lot of energy and effort into telling people about the cigars that they carry. We're going to do our best to produce the best cigars possible from a manufacturing standpoint. but the retailers can do a great job to tell the story and to carry cigars that are great cigars to smoke. And, people will make that decision how to spend their money. So smaller
Absolutely.
cigars,
I
cheaper,
have a
great,
question. So the difference between sometimes from our standpoint, the difference between a 20 and a 10 is awesome because I could buy 5 boxes to offer to my customers instead of 2, right? Because it's also a different price for me. How much of a cost does it add, though, to the box price to have a box for every 10 instead of a box for every 20? Did
well,
that question make sense?
yeah. So for example, my cigars don't come in boxes, and it's not because I don't like boxes, but I try to put the money in the tobacco right now. I'm going to basically say, look, my packaging is in craft paper over wax paper, and the Boveda's inside, and they're packs of 10. And I made that decision to do that because if I was to add a box, the boxes in Nicaragua are between $7 and $10, depending on where you make them, if you can even get them made. There's a whole back order on boxes. If I make them domestically and I make them in the States, they're anywhere from $10 to $15 a box, depending on how fancy a box you want to make. So if you have a box of 10 and it costs you $10, it's $1 per cigar you have to add to cover the cost of the box. If you make the same box and it makes, it accommodates 20 cigars, now it's 50 cents a cigar. So it is more expensive per cigar, is the way it's been explained to me, to have a box of 10. It's more affordable for the consumer because they can afford to buy 10 cigars versus 20 in a box. But it does add more per cost of the cigar to have a box made for those lesser quantities.
But I would have to assume that most manufacturers are not going to eat that $7 to $10 per box price.
No, they add it to the cost of the cigar.
So
Right.
is the cigar actually cheaper?
Well, so if it's
Because
if it's $1 my cost, it's $2 your cost, and it's $4 the cost to the end user.
right.
And so that ends up, it gets to the point where my $10 cigar is another dollar is $11, which is $12 and $13 by the time it gets to the consumer. And so it is quite expensive. And that is something to where I would love to be able to provide cigars in boxes. And I've had retailers that either refuse or complain about not being able to have my cigars in boxes. And I love the box presentation. I mean, there's nothing like being able to get a box of cigars, from your brick and mortar, or get it online and get it mailed to you. And when you open and you crack that box and you open it up, the presentation is just phenomenal. But, I just haven't been able to get to the point where I can convince myself that adding that $4, the expense to the end user, it makes sense.
I might be the odd man out, and I sure hope that I'm not. But I love your packaging. I love the 10-pack concept. I love the wax paper. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it at all. I think your packaging is phenomenal.
Yeah, no, and to that point, there's a lot of folks that are moving
Yeah.
to
Good
the
point.
non-wood box.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
we talked to Sarah and Ricky Rodriguez from West Tampa. They're
Sure.
moving to the cardboard box to save not just money, but also save the planet. Brian Desmond and Pravada Cigar Club doing the same thing.
Yep.
Okay, let me as a consumer, when the $12 cigar becomes $13, it doesn't preclude me from buying, but it does have a tendency to begin to search for what might become the next favorite cigar. Let the experimentation begin, and that's where the fun begins. For
Yeah,
me,
you
as
should
a
always be doing
consumer,
that.
yeah, you got to burn to learn. That's something I learned very, very early on. But when it comes to, I am a traditionalist, I guess, a purist. I like the wooden box. That's just me. I think it's, when done right and done well, there's nothing like it. I love that, especially the ones that have like that piano lacquer finish. And
What do you do with those boxes
colorful.
when you're done with them?
They're on my wall.
Are they?
See,
All
I'm completely
Not all of them.
I'm completely different. I like to give people box prices at my store, even though they don't buy an actual box, because I think variety is the spice of life, and I want them to try Lure or Nick Saris's cigar. So What?
Well, but
Variety is the spice of life.
Shauna seems shocked that you're giving folks box discounts on not boxes.
No,
I think what he
I
means
do all
is
the time.
if you come in and you buy 20 cigars, I'm going to give you the box discount.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, I was wondering where his
Absolutely.
girlfriends are. Variety is the spice of life.
I got you, Shauna. I knew where you were at. I knew where you were at.
Jesus
No, but I
Christ.
do that. I do that in our store all the time. I don't push buying a box. I always tell them, hey, you get the same price if you buy this many cigars, but let's try, because sometimes they'll come out cheaper for them, right?
Yeah.
And they can try Lure, or they can try LH or Martinez or Luciano. They can try something different. They're not just
Cavalier.
stuck with the same. Yeah, Cavalier. They're not stuck with the same cigar. And for me, I like that.
Yeah.
Now, I know that's not conventional, but so when Lou sends me bundles and I put it in, I think that's great. Yeah, packs. I'm sorry. And when they come in packs, yeah, I do sell some packs to customers that they want it and that they buy it, but they don't say anything about whether or not it's in a box. Not because they know at my store they're getting the same price whether they bought it in a box or they're buying it all individual.
Well, and I'm looking at options, just to try to be creative and give the retailers that want a box presentation to maybe have some boxes made. And there's a number of manufacturers that provide boxes. Roma Craft does it, Domain does it, several other cigar companies do it, to where they provide you a box for one price, and then the reloads of the bundles or packs or whatever it is
Yep.
of the loose cigars, you just refill it. And so, I'm all for not making boxes for the sake of boxes. I as a consumer, over the course of time, I've had so many boxes that I end up donating to thrift shops or burn them in fire pits, when the weather's cool down here. And they're great fire starters. I mean, they go up, they're dry kiln, but
Yeah.
I hate to discard something that, some of the boxes are beautiful boxes.
Yeah.
And I love the presentation. I save the ones that, have meaning or whatever and have, kind of a sentimental value. But, when you're buying cigars and you're smoking a lot of cigars, I want to smoke the cigars. I don't smoke boxes. So, I love the presentation, but, so I'm maybe looking at doing a series of boxes for those that want to have that, and maybe do it for the reload situation, to do it that way and to try to keep costs down.
Yeah, I think if manufacturers, we talked about this before, if they went to, let's reload the boxes and save the consumer a little bit of scratch, that's a good way to offset these scarifs.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm just saying, maybe take a look at that. But yeah, again, I'm a purist. I want the box. I want the nice presentation.
Sure.
I want
And some of the boxes, like La Bamba, that
Yes.
whole, I only saw, I walked by it just briefly, and that whole packaging has always been cool in terms of the bomb shape of their packaging for their cigars. This one coming out, whenever it comes out with this physical, three-dimensional shape, is just so cool. So I love cool packaging. I'm a sucker, from the marketing and the cool packaging. There is a place for that, but you just have to find what works for you, and that to try to do the best you can do. And as we evolve, we'll try new things and new packaging ideas and things like that. But that's just what you have to do in this climate.
As a retailer, I have so many freaking cigar boxes. I don't know what to do with them, and I hate the idea to throw them away because, like you said, they cost between $7 and $15 to produce.
Oh, you could sell them for a couple bucks. If you got somebody who's artsy, comes in.
She makes a lot of B&Ms will sell boxes for $2 to $5.
Nobody comes into my store that wants to buy boxes, though.
Well, I don't know. Your destination lounge.
Go on Whatnot, Shauna. There's this whole online community of people.
Shauna on Whatnot.
So you can go on Whatnot and you can sell those to the people that they are absolutely buying those things for $10 and $15, and they make all kinds of vignettes and crafts out of it. So I'm not gonna. Once you go down that rabbit hole, it's a rabbit hole, I tell you. But
thank you.
Go on Whatnot, and they sell. I mean, people buy those cigar boxes.
Yeah,
and it's
Whatnot.
crazy.
Yeah, that's Shauna and whatnot. That's not something
Hold on,
that I
let me pull
thought that
this
was
up.
not on
I don't
wasn't
even
on
know
my
what this
bingo
is.
card today, but there
Nope,
you
that
have
was
it.
not.
No, look, Vlad Stoyanov's tinkering with 3D printed boxes. There's a lot of different things out there that people can try. I think we're going to see a lot of changes in the next few years to the cigar industry. It's going to be fun to watch. But look, I hope this was fun to watch tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. We've gone a little bit over time. Look, we're looking forward to My Old Kentucky Herf this next weekend. Ashland, Kentucky. If you haven't got a ticket yet, they may still have some available. Go to fatash.com/events or give them a call. And say, hey, can I get a ticket, please? I want to come because this is a great event, and we hope to see you there. It's going to be a lot of fun. And look, if you can't make it, we're live streaming Saturday, May 10th. We're going to live stream the whole thing. There's going to be different panels. There's going to be 5 different panels at least with the principals and the blenders and some of the folks in and around the industry. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of good stuff going on. Like, you don't want to miss it. If you can't make it, tune in, smoke a cigar. And then you can go back and watch it, later on. It's going to be a lot of fun. We hope to see you there. I want to thank our panel tonight, our LE Club members, Lou Cross from Lure Cigars. Thank you, my friend. Go try Lure Cigars, smoke great cigars, tell tall tales, Lure Cigars. I also want to thank our sponsor, Blackbird Cigars, and I want to thank Small Batch Cigars, which you can go to smallbatchcigar.com and get both Blackbird and Lure. Use coupon code Stogies, 10% off. Like, they're not raising their prices because of the scarif, so you're going to save an actual 10%. Go do it right now. Stogies, coupon code smallbatchcigar.com. I also want to thank Brian and Shauna Bolin from Livermore Smoldering Cigar. Brian, thank you so much. Shauna, thank you so much for joining us tonight. LE Club
Come visit us on May 31st.
Yeah, May 31st and July 19th.
19th.
Yeah, and the second weekend in September. I think it's the 13th. I don't know.
We'd love to see you.
They would love to see it, and it's a great lounge. It's a destination lounge. You're not going to be disappointed with the level of customer service or the selection of cigars that he has. Brian has curated a great humidor there. And look, stick around for July 20th when it's under new management. You're not gonna it's going to be
that's
so
great.
much fun.
I
Much
need the
fun.
store to be there when I come back, right?
It'll be there. It might be empty, but it'll be there. It'll be there, and
Attaboy.
you'll be like, "Why is this?
Sell it all.
Why is the till full of money?" And I'll just smile and go,
And you will
You're
just hire
welcome.
you all the time.
"Yeah, there you go. It'll be a lot of fun." So yeah, I also want to thank our LE Club members that
Keep
weren't here
James
tonight.
happy.
Thank you so much for all of your support. Look, you want to become an LE Club member? Go to simplystogies.com. You can follow all of our reviews there, all of our PCA coverage, the new episodes, everything right there. Simplystogies.com. And sign up for the LE Club, $10 a month, $100 a year. You can join us live every night, and you're helping to support a small podcast. That's going to do it for this episode of After Dark. I hope you enjoyed the conversation. I know I did. Join us on the 8th, which is just a couple of short days away, where we talk about Alex Glaz Behind His Back and AG Cigars, and then put it out there for everybody to listen to in our Clear the Air. And then, of course, May 15th, we're going to be talking about My Old Kentucky Herf with Dwight and Steven, and I'm sure tariffs will come up, and retailers and the industry, and maybe we'll have their wives on as well. It'll be a lot of fun. Make sure you join us for that. And then, of course, to Clear the Air. After that, June 1st, we've got Noel Rojas from Rojas Cigars. That is such a great episode. I can't even tell you guys. We recorded it last night. Just absolutely fantastic story. Very knowledgeable in the industry. You don't want to miss it. But look, until then, guys, until next time, join us again for our only live show, our only 2 cigar show, the first Friday of every month. That'll be the first Friday of June. It'll be the dog days of summer will be upon us. We'll be talking about all things cigars. So until then, stay smoky, friends.